as well. Last night's game, Cowboys versus the Seattle Seahawks. Let me talk about it real quick, guys. The Seahawks came in at 6-5, Cowboys 8-3, and it looked like the Cowboys pretty much were more matched. The Seahawks, I think, needed the game more than the Cowboys. However, both came out swinging. Believe it or not, last night there was no type of defense played until the very end of the game. Just manhandling both sides of the ball. They just really just did not come out with good defense. However, I will say this about that. Penalties. It was like over 200 yards in penalties alone. Just dude, this is something that I just didn't want to see it. I got tired of it. It just reminded me of the Jags and Texans game last weekend. It's to me it's just more so what's really going on, man? Like, are they letting these guys play? Are they not letting these guys play? So many things that I'm looking at, and I just say to myself, it's not even worth it, to be honest with you. Sometimes to watch some of these games. But I'll get back to the play at hand. I was a fan of last night, before I even get to the final 2 minutes, because that's usually what I love to do is watch the final 2 minutes of any football game. Kind of tells you how the whole game went the entire night. I was a big fan of last night. Geno Smith and Dak Prescott both playing last night. They really balled out pretty good last night. One of them threw a pick, of course, obviously, but then there was a turning point in the game where the running lanes were good for both teams. Charbonnet, obviously, he went down. Dallas Turner came in. I said Dallas Turner. That's the edge rush from whatchamacallit, Alabama. Dallas came in. Pretty much a special teams unit guy, came in, had to play lead back. I get it, more carries than usual for Seattle, as opposed to the Cowboys. They had a really good running back room with Tony Pollard and so on and so forth. So, and CeeDee Lamb looks like he's really a number one receiver now. I think we can kind of end the discussion about him not being that number one guy. He's really taken a huge leap this year. I would safely say, I'm not even a fan of neither one of these teams, but I would safely say that you could put CeeDee Lamb in the top five question. You can put him in the top five receivers now with the Tyreek Hills, the Mike Evans, the A.J. Browns. You can kind of put him in there. If you don't want to, I mean, that's fine. We can debate all day, go back and forth. But I think CeeDee Lamb is in there now after these past few weeks, this catalog, this season alone. But I think he kind of indoctrinated himself pretty much when he was doing them 100-yard games, receivings, or 10 receptions like a game, back to back to back. So he to me, he's in there. What I will say is, though, really, 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 when it came down to it, this is what most teams need to do. What the Cowboys did last night is build that defense. And that defense is what saved them. Of course, the final 2 minutes, let's talk about it. Dive into it real quick. If you're watching that game, the first play, you see Geno hit my boy Tyler Lockett straight up about a good 20 to 25 yard gain. First play, right? That's amazing as an offense. That's amazing when you're down by only less than you're down by a touchdown. Amazing. But actually, I want to reverse this. I think this game was won by the timeout by the Cowboys prior to this. And what I mean by that is when the Cowboys did not go for it on fourth down in the fourth quarter, they didn't go for it on the fourth down. They actually punted. They kicked the field goal. That is what saved them from losing this game. And that right there put them up by 6, forcing them to go down and have to score. They were already up by 3, but forcing them to go down and score again. So on and so forth. So now back to the drive with Geno Smith hitting Tyler Lockett. 25-yard gain, cool, nice little out route, good. The next play hits the tight end, he does good as well. Then this is where it starts to get tricky. The tight end should have caught the ball in the very next play. I think that was what killed the momentum and made it third down. So when he dropped that ball, because he was wide open, and I don't know if it was underthrown or overthrown. I have a replay. You guys can check that out. You can kind of go back and forth on that one. But when you look at that, of course, obviously, Micah Parsons was a problem for the right tackle. Lucas, this is how you make your money. And, of course, the last play of the game on the fourth down, Lucas goes inside. Micah Parsons goes outside. And, of course, that's a defensive end's dream. straight free rush at the quarterback. And, of course, you guys cannot do that to a great defensive player. Took advantage, did what he needed to do. I just think that Dallas's defense is going to save them a lot in this the next few little bits of the last part of the season. I think that they need to really home in and hunker down. It's about playoff time. They're going to get in, of course. They're going to get in. But when they get to the San Frans, when they get to the Phillies, they've got to understand that this is not a shootout is not what you want with those teams. They're too comfortable with the lead. They're too comfortable with not having a lead in the last few minutes of the game. Well, I'm sorry. Actually, San Fran is not. Philly is. I'll say that. You don't want to play Detroit because they're such a wild card. Literally, they really are a wild card. You don't know what you're going to get with Detroit. So you want to kind of establish who you are, Dallas. I see you got Dak playing, which is great. But in the long run, we need to make sure that, every drive matters. Get some points. And you guys did that last night when you guys came in, called that timeout in the fourth quarter and realized, let's just go get the 3 points. Get the 3 points, force them to actually go down the field and score. So that was really smart play call by Mike McCarthy. I like that. Now, the realistic side is I expected Dallas to blow Seattle out because Seattle didn't have a lot of players. As for Seattle, they actually played really good for them to be down a lot of players. So this game should have been a blowout, but it wasn't. So, it is what it is with that. That's fine. But, we got a good Thursday night game. Finally, a good one. A fun one to watch. No Bears and Vikings where people throw 1,000 picks, you know what I mean, or kicks. It's just actually was a really good game. So your thoughts, your guys on this game as well in the comments. Let me know, all right? Please like, comment, and, of course, always subscribe. Peace.